What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another kind of video because there's been an ongoing debate over the past couple of days in regards to some recent events and stuff. Ever since the election of the orange man Donald Trump, people have been kind of making some laps around saying woke's dead, woke's dead, woke's dead, when in reality it's not really dead. Yes, it's waning in its strength and popularity, but it's still around. But there's another discussion that's starting to rear its ugly head. And it's a discussion that has been needing to happen for a long time now. And it's being coined the phrase Gooner Gate, which is one of the stupidest names in existence, to be quite honest with you. But what's Gooner Gate, you might be asking yourself. What's going on here? Well, I'll take you over here to Pirate Nation over on X, and you can see he tweeted out this lovely little game video scene of a girl having a good old time. Nothing really inappropriate here, nothing bad happening, just having a grand old time in a new game called, well, a newer game called First Descendant, which I've played some of. I need to really get back into. It's a fun game. I actually highly recommend it to people. But I do have Melanie Mack here pulled up, but she's not the sole focus of this, but is a partial focus of this, because this is the sentiment that is being spread around by several individuals right now. But first, to begin with, you get Pirate Nation saying, is this what gamers want? And obviously the answer is always going to be yes. But you see Melanie Mack right here coming down here saying, not me. I like attractive characters, but I don't want to play with naked butts, boobs, or bulges up in my face. I'd feel like a total loser playing something like that. Obviously trying to take a moral grandstanding approach to this, but in all honesty, yes, I highly disagree with Melanie Mack here. I highly disagree with her opinion, but I gotta say, it's not just Melanie Mack that has this morally superior opinion right now. We'll come over here to this YouTuber by the name of Dread Roberts. Now, I don't know much about this dude. I just recently found out that he's a YouTuber, but he put out this thing, which is very, morally superior to every living thing out there, tries to act like he's better than you for his religious belief structures. And by the way, I'm not out here to try to bemoan anybody for what they believe religiously or not. I have my own set of religious beliefs. I live by my own belief structure. I'm not out here to grandstand or moralize to you, but when people come out and do it to me, I get a little angsty about it. So he says, any person with a modicum of decency would say no. This is not where the future of gaming should be headed. The constant promotion of half-naked women as the greener side of gaming is getting ridiculous. And I'm beginning to think that these people who say they want to save gaming don't actually want to save it. So many claim to care about morals and the future generation and not giving even an inch of progress to devs who push woke ideology or whatever else. But then they'll turn around and tell young men and women to support titles that throw this stuff in your face. Well, yes and no. The thing is, this is just a recentering real quick. And I know I haven't even finished his whole statement here, but all I have to say to begin with this is the 90s existed. The early 2000s existed. And I can go through a list of characters right now that were fan favorites for generations on end. You got Cammy from Street Fighter 2. You got Chun-Li, Street Fighter 2. We got Lara Croft, PS1. We got Soul Calibur Girls. Oh, and we have Dead or Alive. This isn't even the beach volleyball. Okay, this is just basic gameplay. People understand that attractive women sell. People like pretty things. There's no crime in being beautiful, and shaming people solely for liking beautiful things here or there or liking attractive characters or in whatever situation is a problem. But we'll continue with what he has to say, and then we'll start continuing to debunk it. Most of what I've seen for months now from these accounts are butt cheeks and cleavage. Seriously, how is this making gaming better? All we are doing is pushing normies in the same direction, but on a parallel track. People may argue, we just want to push back on the ugly women agenda, just trying to make a point to the lefty weirdos. Okay, so where do we draw the line then? Because there doesn't appear to be one. This is why I say that we need real adults with real ambitions, aspirations, and a mature outlook on the future to lead the charge in this industry. People who have their priorities straight and their arousals in check. Bro, what? But here's the thing, okay? It's the moral superiority complex that is dripping throughout this entire post that is one of the main problems of all this. But at the same time, guess what? It's the exact same thing we've been railing against, just from a different direction. We can take this to another logical route, okay? We can talk about the censorship that we've been railing against and saying that is wrong. And I brought this up as an example right now. Japanese fans unhappy with Square Enix's decision to censor female characters in Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Everyone involved should apologize at Akira Toriyama's grave. Because of this woke ideology that is now being shipped out across seas, Square Enix was forced to censor Akira Toriyama's artwork due to Western sensibilities, due to Western belief systems. And when you see like how these characters used to look versus how they're looking now, yes, it's minor changes, but it's still wrong. On a objective moral level, this is going out here trying to act like you know better than Akira Toriyama and that you can do the work better than Akira Toriyama. It's the same thing. It's just coming from a different direction. Now it's coming from a more religious, puritanical direction. And there are a lot of people out there saying, no, the religious right isn't going to do anything. No, they have no power. No, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter if they're not doing something now. It's to acknowledge that they can do something and that we really need to make sure that we don't go all the way that way either. Yes, the pendulum is swinging. We're trying to get it to the center. I don't want it all the way to the right. A good example of this, something that I really don't want in my media at all, is I don't want to be picking up Berserk, for example, reading guts, slashing through demons, and the next thing I know, have him lift up the American flag with a Bible in another hand, say, I love God. I don't want that. I want my escapism. I want my over-the-top characters. I like that stuff. Then, when it comes to this moral grandstanding, this moral superiority, it kind of falls flat again when we come back over here to, this character and we point out that, yeah, you don't have to play as her. That's the thing about First Descendant. You don't have to play as this character. And this is a optional skin. You can play as any other character with different skins. But because people want to morally grandstand, because people want to attack and deride anything, because right now they think they have the moral high ground to do so, because Orange Man's in, woke's being routed, it's our time to take over. No. And in fact, we recently saw that gamers actually do like this stuff. Remember, early in the year, we had Concord, which was an abysmal failure and an absolute destruction of a company and a game, as everything got shut down and people were offered full refunds just a few weeks after the game launched. And guess what? We just had the exact opposite thing start happening when it comes to Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals has some attractive female characters in there. Characters that people actually are like, you know what? These are some, this is some eye candy here or there. Yeah, we're actually going to enjoy this. And we're seeing woke freaks out there saying that this is unattractive. This is bad. This is unrealistic body standards. And guess what? This game people are playing out the wazoo right now. Concord failed. Games like First Descendant are succeeding. Games at one point in time like Street Fighter 2 at one point in time succeeded. Tomb Raider was a success, not just because of good gameplay, good storytelling, and fun adventure, but also Lara Croft sold. She sold based on polygons that people really, really liked. We have Soul Calibur, games filled with highly attractive women that people love. This sells products. This sells games. Dead or Alive. And this isn't, again, the beach volleyball setups where people play around as the girls in bikinis the whole time. There's nothing wrong with fan service. There's nothing wrong with enjoying attractive women, enjoying some jiggly things here or there. There's nothing awful about that. It's actually a good thing to do that because it's not a crime to be attractive or beautiful. It's never been a crime to do this stuff. But again, just like from the left saying that all this stuff is unrealistic body standards and we need to, allow for fat women and ugly people and all this stuff to be shoved in the game no matter what. Just like the left likes to do this, just like the wokies like to do this, the more puritanical side of things will also do the exact same thing to try to push their moral values on everybody as well. They'll just do it from a different direction, a different angle, and maybe they'll try to say, well, we're just trying to make people a little bit more modest. We're trying to tone down things, so on and so forth, when it's all the same thing. Censorship is wrong, hands down. And don't try to act like you're morally superior to me when I see you doing the exact same things as the people we've been railing against for the past 10 plus years. It's wrong, end of discussion. But we can also see that Dread or whatever his name is, they're not gonna go down without a fight. You can see Smash JT here just pointing out, when you become exactly what you've been fighting against, you are no better than those you are trying to stop, which is factual. But Dread Roberts here, again, tries to do the moral grandstanding, tries to act superior to everybody because of his religious belief structure, just like a Wookiee. Smash, who is apparently a married man with children of his own, seems to think that another married man with children of his own setting boundaries and having moral/values is becoming exactly what you're fighting against. No. What he's pointing out is your puritanical authoritarian push. That's what he's pointing out. You're doing the exact same thing as the wokies, but you can't think that through because, again, ideology. Hilarious! I've been fighting against DEI relentlessly and was one of the very first people to defend him when Mercante was going after his wife. That doesn't matter. It doesn't stop the fact that you are taking an authoritarian push now to a more puritanical style, and people don't like that. But you feel like you have the moral obligation now to do so because, again, in your worldview, the woke is routed, when in reality it's not. Oh well. Lesson learned, I guess. Incredible how my call for not taking things too extreme just to own the other side has shaken people to the core so hard that their brains have snapped into, it's hard to believe really, but what did you say? It's not just the not taking things too extreme. It's not just that. We'll come right back over here. This is why I say that we need real adults with real ambitions, aspirations, and a mature outlook on the future to lead the charge in the industry. People who have their priorities straight and their arousal in check. It wasn't just the whole, hey, we shouldn't be taking things too extreme. It was the moral grandstanding that people had a problem with. And this is going to be a thing that people are going to point out. With all the people that are coming out acting like this, they're gonna morally grandstand to you. They're gonna try to act like they're better than you, just like the wokies do, because of their belief structure. And again, I'm not trying to rail against it, but they're not superior than you. They're not better than you. They are just doing the exact same tactics from a different angle. This is something that we should just reject outright, no matter the side. Censorship is wrong, period. End of discussion. I'm going to leave it there. Let me get your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video. Go live, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.